The bell rang again. Taehyung didn't even look up this time. You're late today. Silence. But he smiled anyway. Jungkook stood there, watching him like always. But something had changed. He stepped closer than usual. Work. A single word. Taehyung grinned. Wow, progress. Next time, maybe a full sentence. Jungkook didn't react, but his gaze softened just slightly. That day, he didn't leave immediately. He stayed, leaning silently against the counter while Taehyung arranged flowers. Do you ever smile? Taehyung teased. A pause. Then, very faintly, Jungkook's lips curved, and Taehyung noticed. Later that evening, two girls whispered near the entrance. That's him. I heard he's dangerous. They say he's connected to some mafia group. Taehyung glanced toward Jungkook, still standing there, quiet, unbothered, like he'd heard it all before. Taehyung frowned slightly, then turned back to the counter. Rumors. Just rumors. Because the boy in front of him didn't look like someone dangerous. He looked lonely. Taehyung handed him flowers and smiled. The kitchen was calmer today. Less smoke. Still messy. Jungkook carefully placed a cup of tea in front of Taehyung. I didn't burn anything this time. A small, proud smile. Taehyung looked at the cup, then at him. You didn't have to. I know. A pause. I wanted to. The shop door burst open. Hyung. A bright voice. A boy ran inside. Felix. Young, cheerful, full of life. Taehyung laughed. Felix, slow down. Felix ignored him until he saw Jungkook standing there, watching. Felix leaned closer to Taehyung and whispered loudly, Is this him? Taehyung choked. Felix. Felix grinned mischievously. The quiet guy you keep talking about. Jungkook's eyes flickered. Taehyung turned red. I don't talk about him. You do, Felix teased. Every day. A pause. Then, unexpectedly, Jungkook spoke. You talk about me. Taehyung froze. Felix smirked. Oh, he does. That moment, awkward, warm, real. And for the first time, Jungkook didn't feel like an outsider. Days passed, then weeks. Jungkook kept coming. But now, he stayed longer, sometimes silently watching Taehyung arrange flowers, sometimes sitting in a corner, and sometimes Felix would sit beside him, talking non-stop. Do you even smile? Do you have friends? Do you like my Hyung? Taehyung would scold him. Felix, stop bothering him. But Jungkook never left, never complained, just listened. And always, always watched Taehyung. Taehyung came home late, tired, exhausted. The lights were already on. Jungkook sat on the couch, waiting. You're late, he said softly. Work. Jungkook stood immediately. Sit, I'll bring water. Taehyung paused. No one had said that to him in a long time. Taehyung sat alone that night, looking at an old photo. Felix smiling brightly, arms wrapped around him. Hyung, don't stay alone forever, okay? What if I do? Felix grinned. Then I'll find someone for you. Taehyung scoffed. Focus on your studies. Felix leaned closer, whispered, What about that flower shop guy? Taehyung's ears turned red. Shut up. You like him. I do not. You blush when he comes. I don't. Felix laughed. Taehyung frowned. He's not scary. Felix tilted his head. Just don't get hurt, okay? Taehyung smiled softly. I won't. That promise would be broken. A sharp gasp in the middle of the night. Taehyung woke instantly. Jungkook. The room was dark, but he could hear it. Heavy breathing, uneven, panicked. Taehyung sat up and turned on the lamp. Jungkook was trembling. His fingers clutched the bedsheet so tightly his knuckles had turned white. Sweat dripped down his neck, his chest rising and falling rapidly. Hey, hey, look at me, Taehyung said, moving closer. Jungkook didn't respond. Jungkook. Taehyung grabbed his shoulders gently. That's when Jungkook suddenly jerked. A broken whisper escaped his lips. Stop, please, don't. Taehyung froze. Don't? Don't what? Jungkook's breathing turned into a full panic. No, no, there's too much blood. Taehyung's heart dropped. Blood. Jungkook, listen to me, he said firmly, holding his face. You're safe. You're here. Jungkook blinked. Once. Twice. And suddenly, he collapsed forward, gripping Taehyung's shirt like a lifeline. Hyung. His voice was small, shaking. I saw something bad. Taehyung's hand slowly moved to his hair, stroking gently. It's just a dream. But his own voice lacked conviction, because deep down, he knew this wasn't just a dream. Morning came too quietly. Jungkook sat at the table, staring at his hands. There was blood, he murmured. Taehyung paused. Dreams feel real sometimes. Jungkook shook his head slowly. No, this felt like I was there. Silence. Then, Hyung, Jungkook whispered. What if I did something bad? Taehyung clenched his jaw. You didn't. A lie came too easily now. That night, Taehyung couldn't sleep. Jungkook's words echoed in his mind. There was blood. What if I did something bad? Did I hurt someone? Taehyung stood in the dark, staring at his phone. Then finally, he made a decision. If you won't remember, I'll find out myself. The next day, Taehyung returned to the place where Felix was last seen. The streets felt colder, empty. Wrong? He asked around. Most people avoided eye contact. Some stayed silent, until one old man spoke quietly. You shouldn't ask about that night. Taehyung stepped closer. Why? The man hesitated. Because powerful people were involved. Taehyung's chest tightened. Who? The man looked at him carefully. A young man, tall, quiet, dangerous. Taehyung's hands clenched. What did he do? The man swallowed. I don't know exactly, but I heard screams. Taehyung visited the police station, requested files, but CCTV footage is unavailable. Witness statements are incomplete. Case closed. Closed? Just like that? Taehyung frowned. This doesn't make sense. Later, he found something strange. A small note in the file, barely noticeable. Witness withdrew statement. Why would a witness withdraw? Unless they were forced to. Taehyung dug deeper. Old contacts, old records, and one name kept appearing. Over and over and over again. Jungkook, someone who was there. His chest felt heavy. What did you do? What happened that night? At home, Jungkook was waiting, like always. The moment Taehyung stepped in, his face lit up. You're back. That smile, so soft, so pure. Taehyung looked at him, and for a moment, he forgot everything. Hyung, Jungkook tilted his head. Are you okay? Taehyung forced a small smile. Yeah, but inside, everything was breaking. Later that night, Jungkook fell asleep beside him, peaceful, calm, innocent. Then suddenly, "Don't touch him." Taehyung's eyes snapped open. Jungkook was shaking again. "He's just a kid." Taehyung's blood ran cold. Jungkook's voice dropped into something darker. "Move." A pause, then a sickening whisper, "Or I'll make you." Taehyung stopped breathing because that voice, that tone, that wasn't the Jungkook he knew now. It was the one from before. And for the first time, Taehyung truly realized. Taehyung sits in the dark, staring at Jungkook. Taehyung is no longer sure if he is living with a killer or a victim